continue talking about this novel satellite or spaceship. It might sound alien, but everything indeed carries vibrational energy. Even self consciousness is energy. People's opinions, therefore, also energy, and that's why low vibration exists. Vibrational pattern can calculate anything. Fair use portion contains third party content constitute fair use works are meant to be educational, scholarly in nature. A novel is just opinion and speculation. Chapter Moon. The interior of the moon is more like a hollow than homogeneous sphere. A noble chemist suggested moon's reduced density is because of large areas inside it, simply as a cavity. Another way of saying it's hollow. Improved knowledge of the moon's gravitational field is also indicating the frightening possibility that the moon might be hollow. However, a natural satellite cannot be a hollow object. Therefore, the moon may not be a natural satellite at all. On November 20th, 1966, the Apollo 12 crew jettisoned a lunar module ascent stage causing it to crash into the moon, and lunar modules impacted about 40 miles from Apollo 12 landing site, creating an artificial moonquake. With startling characteristics such as the moon reverberated like a bell for more than an hour. The test was repeated with Apollo 13 as well, intentionally, commanding the third stage a rocket to impact the moon with even more startling results. Seismic instruments recorded the reverberation lasted for 3 hours and 20 minutes and traveled to a depth of 25 miles. This this was leading us to a conclusion that moon has unusually light or no core at all. To put this into perspective, when Earth experiences a large quakes, the reverberation from a quake usually only lasts minutes or so, due to density of the planet. The moon counts like a hollow object for several hours. Despite being a dead hunk of rock with very little geological activity, the moon is prone to shaking though. These Earth-like tremors are called moonquakes, and there are four types of them. First three types, deep quakes vibration, differ from meteor impacts, and thermal quakes caused by sun heat are relatively harmless. And the fourth one, however, can be quite unpleasant. These shallow moonquakes can register up to 5.5 on the Richter scale, enough to move large furniture around and last for a remarkably long 10 minutes. According to NSA, these quakes also have effect on making the moon ring like a bell. We also have no idea of what causes these moonquakes. Earthquakes, though, are usually caused by movements on tectonic plates, but the moon doesn't have any active tectonic plates. Some researchers think they may have some link to Earth's tidal activity, which is caused by moon's pull. However, this theory is inconclusive as the tidal forces affect an entirety of the moon, but moonquakes are usually localized. The mysteries don't end here. Our moon has been placed precisely in orbit it travels, and there is no way it could obtain such an orbit randomly by accident, by any probability. Our moon is the only moon in the solar system that has stationary near perfect circular orbit. The strange thing that its moon's center is mass is about 6,000 feet closer to Earth than its geometric center, which should cause wobbling. But moon's bulge is on the far side of the moon away from Earth, hence it seems that something might have put moon in our orbit with, uh, with its precise altitude course and speed out of the old odds. How does one explain the coincidence that moon is just on the right distance coupled with the right diameter to completely cover the sun during an eclipse? Again, there is no astronomical reason why the moon and the sun should fit so well. And the only Earth among all other planets in our solar system is blessed with life out of all the odds. Most people think the moon is just a moon, but there is some talk about it should actually be classified as a planet. For a reason, it's too far big to be true just to be moon. being about one-fourth of the diameter of our planet, the Earth. The Moon doesn't actually orbit Earth at all. Instead, Earth and Moon orbit each other around a point between them. This point is called the barycenter. And the illusion that Moon is actually orbiting Earth comes from the fact that barycenter is currently located inside the Earth's crust. And the fact that barycenter remains inside the Earth is pretty much the only reason why Earth and Moon aren't classified as twin planets, instead of planet and its satellite. However, this might change in the future. And an inescapable conclusion also is that the Moon hasn't been um, Earth's natural satellite. An ancient calendar of Tiahuanaco in Bolivia tells of time when our moon wasn't there at all. Theories about the moon actually dated back thousands of years as various cultures and civilizations discuss the story of how it came to be a satellite and where it resides today. Recorded historian African Zulu legends say the moon is hollow and the home of Python and Chicharia, a reptilian race of intelligent extraterrestrials. Just a theory. And legend states that the moon was brought here hundreds of generations ago by two brothers, Wei-Wan and Panku, who were leaders of a reptilian extraterrestrial race. It's very similar to the Mesopotamian and Sumerian accounts about moon as well. That there were two chief leaders who were also brothers in Lil Enoch Lords and Earth Zulu legends tell how one Wayne and Penku stole the moon in the form of egg from the giant fire dragon and emptied out the yolk until it became hollow, and then it was placed in the orbit of the Earth. So they rolled down the moon across the sky to the which brought about cataclysmic events on planet that ended Golden Age. The past of this legend fits well into theory of the reptilian-human hybrids, which are thought to run our world till today's date. Before the moon had arrived, there weren't any seasons, and planet was perpetually engulfed by a canopy of water vapor. People didn't feel the strong glare of the sun that we know now, and they couldn't only see it through the watery mist. And the earth was once a beautiful place and lovely, lush and green, with giant redwoods and violets and ferns with a gentle drizzle, and the mist of the water canopy fell to earth as a cataclysm of rain, when moon was put into place into Earth's orbit. This could explain the Noah's story in the Bible when it rained for 40 days and 40 nights, and the arrival of the moon along with reptilians changed everything on Earth. The moon modified the Earth's rotation and angle, and Earth turned into its axis upside down. The legend says it brought more powerful tidal system and much calmer. The Zulu also claimed that a woman didn't menstruate before the moon arrived, and how could the Zulu, an ancient African tribe, know about all these complex gravitational effects the moon has and would have on Earth? Zulus and other African accounts say the moon was built far away to keep an eye on people and as a vehicle to travel through the universe. And the Zulus say the reptilian's giant mothership is actually the moon. That's where they escaped to during the cataclysm on the Great Flood on Earth, which they caused themselves by manipulating the orbit of the moon and creating other cosmic outrageous events on Earth. As a spacecraft, moon theory might first explain why the moon gives evidence of being older than Earth as well, and why there are three distinct layers within the moon's crust. With densest materials on the outside layer. This could also explain